I left the Wonka well, my brown shoulder-length hair brushing against my shoulders. I was wearing a black tank top. It's an old MGM t-shirt I cut the sleeves off of. And also some old basketball shorts that my dad gave me when I was 9 that I still wear as pajama pants. And the strings that like hold the waist together are like almost completely fallen out, but you know what? I'm still wearing them. I swept down the hallway outside the Wonka well and saw, who's that over there? Elaine by her locker. Elaine was wearing a gray sweatshirt and a black tank top, and was wearing headphones and plugged into a microphone, which was weird for the school. Hey, Elaine, how are you?
Hi, I am doing so great. Ugh, I'm really sad though, because I was reading this book and now it's done. But I really want to know what else could have happened to the characters now that the book's done. Gosh, where's my kombucha?
That sucks for you. Okay. And then out from the doorway, here he comes. Who's this going to be? Who should this be, Elaine? Gene Wonka's the hottest. Here comes Gene Wilder Wonka. He was wearing a purple top hat and a purple jacket with a flouncy blazer and sensible tan trousers that won't mess with your cameras.
Yes!
And shoes not for the dancing man. And he came up to me and he said, Felicia, how are you doing today? And I said, hi, Gene. I don't know. I feel like this needs to be over. I hate this. I'm like, save me from this segue.
I fucking hate this. Save me from this hell. Hi, welcome to Wonka Watch. This is our fan fiction episode where we write our own Wonka fan fiction because
they will be better than that. They will be better than that. I promise you.
Actually, yes. I was like, I have one that I really went trash on, but it is still better than that.
Yeah, no. So don't leave your judgments at the door. That was our one to make you think this will all be garbage, and now you'll be blown out of the water. It's amazing.
The bar is so low.
So, welcome to Wonka Watch. This is the podcast where we talk about all the Wonka shit and often make up our own Wonka shit in preparation for the Wonka 2023 prequel. We've done fan fiction a few times before, and if you are a new listener and popping in on this one, not the episode to start with, let me tell you, Elaine is continuing the Factory 4 series, which have showed up in the first 2 installments of the fan fiction series. So, if you want to go listen to this, we recommend checking those out beforehand.
I think episode 9 was it. Episode 9 was our fan fiction episode.
9 and episode 30 something.
So boldly soon.
Yeah,
so
we did it very
soon.
early.
But you know what? If you like ruining surprises for yourself, stick around. I get it.
Yeah. Who cares? Oh my God, Elaine! What just dropped out of your locker?
Oh my gosh. The secret notebook. It's covered in the coolest stickers. It's so indie. And I open it up and it's in gel sparkly pen. Oh my God. It's the latest gossip. It's some Wonka Watch news.
Oh my God. So this
Lol.
Wonka Watch news came to me in my inbox and I was like, wow, what?
It came to you in your inbox like you had a
like
vision.
A vision.
I had a vision.
I saw a vision of the recreational pot sales opening in Michigan. And I'm going to just play the clip from this live news broadcast. Not live news, this news broadcast for you, and you will see why we are talking about it.
Your first clue that something big is happening are the cars lining the street in front of the Relief Dispensary in Niles. Doors opened at 10, but the lines started even earlier.
Well, we're waiting on the dispensary. We want to go inside and check out what they got.
It's day 1 of recreational pot sales, and people like Frederick Miller showed up early this morning to be one of the first.
I was kind of hoping like a Willy Wonka thing, like Gates and like, you know, somebody coming out with like a cane and then like doing tricks. But so far it's just cold.
Relief just got its license to sell from the city last night. Inside the building, customers have a lot to choose from. Everything from your typical joint to a laundry list of baked goods.
So that's our Wonka Watch news for this week. I just want to give a shout out to Frederick Miller for his
I agree.
The reason I talked about this was because the video clip is titled "I was hoping for a Willy Wonka thing," said a man on the first day of recreational pot sales in Michigan. Which this also has 425 views from WSBT TV. I don't know. There's not much to comment on here. I just wanted you guys to hear.
That brought me a lot of joy.
It made me really happy. I do love that they got the most stoner sounding guy I think I've ever heard.
Yes.
And
yes.
I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. There's a little bit more
I feel
in
that
the
too. I'd expect
45-second
more
video.
fanfare.
Very long lines. At the end of the video, he said he was going to go home and smoke a bowl and watch the new Dracula on Netflix. So I hope you enjoyed that, Frederick.
Oh, that sounds like a lovely evening.
That's our Wonka Watch news. It's still not much, but I think that was fun. I just think it was nice.
That was nice. I really liked that. Thanks, whoever put this in my locker. Is it a secret admirer? I sleep with the notebook under my pillow, and every night I pray to my crystals that they will bring my twin flame to me, and it must be him. I will learn the curse of writing. I go around checking every single sticky note in the school. Anyway, stop.
Heyo, heyo, heyo. Editing Felicia here. I wanted to let you know that we are aware of all the news about the trailer, and we'll be covering it on the next episode. We just record about a week and a half in advance. So we didn't have time to get to this episode, but next episode, we will be talking in depth. All right, so I think it's time we just get into it. We're going to go back and forth. I have my one long fantasy epic. It's not real. I mean, I guess it is fantasy, kind of.
Oh
nice, good old 10 pages of Wonka Fanfiction I wrote. And then Elaine has a bunch of little random bits, and then her highly anticipated sequel to The Factory 4.
Amazing.
Many requests.
Many
requests.
Which also happened last time, which that makes me happy. And then also, like, what the hell am I doing with my actual writing career?
Yeah. Like, this is your most acclaimed piece is The Factory 4.
Oh my god. Okay, Felicia, kick us off. I'm stoked. I have chills.
All right, so my fanfiction is called Otter Cove. Otter Cove.
What have you
the
done?
The Wonka fanfiction.
What have you done?
You'll see.
Oh god, okay.
Being a private detective investigator isn't always easy. That's right, bitch! Private detective investigator Milano Tollhouse is back! So if you guys aren't familiar, because I can understand this was a niche episode. This was episode, hold on, I'm going to find it. Wonka Rapture Delayed, episode 20. So it's been a good 55 episodes since we've had Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse in our earbuds. And I decided it was time to bring him back. Main context you need to know is that it's highly debated whether he is a torso or a centaur. I have decided for this fanfiction, my interpretation is that he is a normal man, but his torso is just very memorable.
Okay, I like it.
That's what I'm going with, because otherwise it kept getting too weird.
That's fair.
So that's my interpretation. I don't even know how we got on the torso thing.
Yeah, I couldn't. But
yeah, this is written by Private Detective Investigator himself. So we're going to be going into his little story. Being a private detective investigator isn't always easy. Since the release of my article on the delay of the Wonka film, which uncovered the evil plans of BAFTA award-winning actor Hugh John Mungo Grant, I've been enjoying a bit of press from the birds and the broads at the local paper. They started billing me as the Wonka Sleuth, which was great at first. Got a lot of letters from one specific podcast. Turns out, though, being a Wonka Sleuth ain't all that marketable. People think I won't even be interested in any capers not involving a bit of sugarcane, and turns out the world of Wonka doesn't have that many mysteries to solve. At least, that's what I thought until recently. You see, about 3 weeks ago, I was drinking black coffee out of an old can of peas and reading the paper when I noticed something a little odd. A personal ad, written by one Mr. W. Houston. It read, "Do you have fantastical ideas about chocolate and candy? Do you think OSHA gets in the way of innovation? Are you the most innovative person you know? Could your first name be shortened to Will/Willie? Me too. I'm seeking like-minded individuals. If this describes you, meet me in the old chocolate factory in Duluth, Minnesota at 3 p.m. on March 27th. The words danced off the page like waifs at a ballet. I saw another chance for this gumshoe to get out of the dumps. I wired the train station and bought a ticket to Duluth. I got deep into a film noir glossary for this.
God.
So I know a lot more film noir slang than I did before. I got off the boiler at 2:45. The journey was rough. The machine broke down 12 times on the way there, and the dame next to me wouldn't stop crabbing about her stale coffee cake. But it didn't matter. I got to the warehouse all the same, courtesy of a cabbie I found loitering outside the station. On the train, I'd pored over the tourist map I found at the station from where I departed to look for the old abandoned chocolate factory. I made a note to visit the Great Lakes Aquarium once I finished this Wonka gambit. 2 floors of stunning river creatures, just the kind of thing a hard and gumshoe like me.
Whoa! 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 A gumshoe. Twice. A dame being crabby over her stale coffee cake.
The dame next to me wouldn't stop crabbing about her stale coffee cake, Elaine.
I thank you for having a train. Also, just wanted to the boiler,
which I don't even think is a thing for train. I think
well, now it fucking is. We're part of train lore now.
Yeah.
We've entered that arena.
I made a note to take a visit to the Great Lakes Aquarium once I finished this Wonka gambit. 2 floors of stunning river creatures, just the kind of thing a hard and gumshoe like me needs to wind down. I was gonna see that Otter Cove if it killed me. Title drop, Otter Cove.
Title drop.
I spent a lot of time on the Great Lakes Aquarium website, guys, let me tell you. Unfortunately, the abandoned factory wasn't on the map, so I had to resort to talk to the jabbering dame. An abandoned chocolate factory? I don't think there's anything like that. Now that you mention it, though, I recall there being an abandoned Coco Chanel warehouse a little outside of downtown. Now that might be the ticket. So that's how I found myself outside the abandoned Coco Chanel warehouse in Duluth, Minnesota. I gave the cabbie his cabbage and told him not to wait for me. The building didn't look all that odd, but I did notice some shards of glass on the ground. Strange for a building with no windows. I hoofed it to the rusted door and gave it a knock. "Who is it?" a man called out. It was too early to give up my grift, so I thought on my feet. Willie. Ah, perfect. You're right on time. The doors opened, seemingly of their own accord, and gave me a view of the Chanel warehouse. I couldn't see the man who answered the door yet, but I did see 5 glass lifts arranged in a perfect semicircle. Around them, shards of glass covered the floor like rats. I gazed up and I saw 5 holes in the glass ceiling, not lug holes or anything, something around the sides of those elevators that smashed through the Chanel warehouse ceiling. I'd stumbled into an even bigger racket than I had thought possible. So that's the end of part 1.
Oh my god.
It's a crossover episode.
I am losing my shit. You went off the deep end and I'm swimming with you.
I think I just really like writing as private detective investigator Milano Tollhouse. He's very fun.
I would read the entire, like, that's a cozy murder mystery series right there, and I would eat them up. Our merch is just books.
Which is like fully published private detective investigator Milano Tollhouse novels. There's not even any Wonka shit in it. It's just private detective investigator Milano Tollhouse like solves the cookie crumble mystery.
Right?
This is also, I think, clear at this point. This is also based on my last fanfiction, Multiversal Wonka's fanfic. So it's a crossover episode between those two. I just didn't want to spoil it for Elaine, so that's why I didn't.
That makes me so happy. The second you said the 5 glass elevators, I was like, bitch. You silly goose.
More twists abound, though.
Oh, shit. Well, let's take a pause.
Yeah.
And go over to a favorite form of writing poetry. Ooh! Last time I used a Google AI form to create some poetry because I thought it'd be silly, and they did it in the style of like different poets. But I've now been introduced to ChatGPT, and I was like, well, fuck that. Let's get some fresh stuff. And so I asked it to create me 2 poems. I'm just going to read this first one now. And my request was to write a sad poem from the perspective of chocolate. It's titled Sad Chocolate Bar.
Oh, no.
I once was whole, a perfect treat, wrapped up tight in foil neat. My cocoa rich, my form divine, I brought such joy to those who dine. But now I lie here, broken, torn, my once smooth edges now forlorn. My insides exposed, a shattered mess, no longer fit for sweet caress. I was once a prize, a cherished delight, but now I'm just a sorry sight. Abandoned, unwanted, left to rot, my fate a bitter, cruel onslaught. Oh, how I long for those sweet days when I was cherished in so many ways. But now I know it's clear to see. No one wants a broken, sad chocolate like me.
Wow. That sounds like the lyrics to a song people in middle school would think is edgy.
I once was whole, a perfect treat, wrapped up tight and foil neat. My cocoa rich, my form divine. I brought such joy to those who dine. But now I lie here broken, torn. My once smooth edges now
This is way
forlorn. My insides exposed, a shattered mess. No longer fit for sweet caress. I am a broken sad chocolate like me. Yeah.
That was great, honestly.
Shit.
That was really
Fuck.
good. Like, I'm not joking. That was way better.
My next obsession for the next 3 weeks is me like making a hardcore mix of that and then being
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I'm so proud. And then
The
it's
only
really just
merch
mediocre.
we have our albums and our albums and books. Now we're on to part 2 of Private Detective Investigator Milana Tollhouse's amazing adventure. Well. I felt a plastic hammer hit my shoulder. The man must have hidden behind the door as I ankled in. The egg moseyed around to face me. He wore raspberry and green duds, a black top hat, and was leaning on a striped cane. I knew as soon as I saw him, I had a Wonka on my hands. He flipped the hammer through the air, caught it, and tucked it in his back pocket. Well, you're definitely more torso-y than I expected, but I can make it work. Choosers can't be beggars. He thrust out his hand. I'm Christian. I
Yep.
reached out to shake it. Don't worry about your name. You'll get one in due time, he continued. Look at me, putting the old horse before the cart. I just need to ask you some questions first. He ran off to the side of the room and pulled over 2 metal folding chairs. I started to walk over, but he waved me off. It took him a good minute or so, but eventually got him set off in the middle of a sunbeam from the open roof. He pulled out a clipboard. Now tell me, how is your relationship with your parents? Not particularly special, I replied. Well, now's not the time to be cagey. Are we talking bad, not special, or good, not special? I searched his face, trying to find the right answer. Bad. Now that's what I like to hear. He wrote something down on his clipboard. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate chewing gum? Even the most amateur Wonka sleuth could figure this one out. 10. Good. Let me tell you, if this keeps going the way it's going, I'm gonna have to crack open the good champagne. I watched him scan the rest of the list and mutter to himself. He seemed to be getting frustrated. You know what? Who gives a shit? He threw his clipboard to the side. I've done enough of these goddamn intake exams. Let's not beat around the bush. We haven't found the Wonka of this universe yet, and you're a Wonka, right? I stared at him real hard, not saying anything. Ooh, a secretive type. I like it. Need more of them in our ranks. Got a bunch of blabbermouths who don't know how to keep shit to themselves. He yelled at the semicircle of elevators across the room. All right, let me introduce you to some of the multiversal Wonka squad. He turned back to me and leaned down to whisper in my ear. It's mostly new recruits, so the gang's a little, shall we say,
Oh my god.
subpar, I offered. I was gonna say fucking garbage, but I appreciate your diplomacy. First on the docket today, here is my supposedly sleuthy compadre, the spy, aka Greyhound Wonka. Out of the elevator stepped a tall young man with blondish hair and a very pointy nose. He goes out among the peasants to gather intel and definitely does not tell people about his entire life story when they start flirting with him about pretentious bullshit. He would never do anything like that. I got the feeling there was some sort of beef between the two, but before I could really dig my heels in there, the bird moved on. All right, this next fucker is Scott. The door opened to show a bedraggled... The door opened to show a bedraggled but relatively normal-looking goon in a red robe. He doesn't have a fun nickname yet because he's excruciatingly new, like painfully new. It like hurts me to stand next to him. Scott reached out an arm to comfort Christian, but Christian whipped around as soon as he felt the touch. Hey! No touching. I've been telling you that. You need to work on it. Your emotional vulnerability freaks us all out. I saw Greyhound nod. Christian turned back to me. Anyway, we're still figuring out how Scott fits into the whole operation, but he does have some sick-ass chocolate cigars you can mooch off of. Scott pulled one out and offered it to me, but I declined because my body is a temple. And that's a callback. So... All right, behind door number 3 is your friend and mine, Opera Wonka, aka the crooner. We're not really sure what he does yet, but he does seem to have some sort of access to a higher power. He doesn't talk, though. He only sings. Opera Wonka belted, "Hello, my friend!" But Christian shut the elevator door on him before he could finish. Great, awesome. He jogged over to the last elevator. Okay, last guy. Meet Wilford, a.k.a. the Gossip. He's a real Wendy Williams type. Got a music career he won't let go. And he's a little obsessed with the perfume industry, but, you know, I've got to say, the man knows what's going on around town. Wilford stepped out of the elevator and gave a very enthusiastic wave. "Hello, new me. Glad to have you here, but I'll tell you now, do not copy my Christmas album idea." He turned to Opera Wonka's closed elevator. "I hope you'll be better at understanding intellectual property than some people here." I heard Opera Wonka give a muffled wail from inside the elevator. Wilford turned back to me. We made eye contact for a moment, and I saw his face drop. "Christian, can we speak for a moment?" Christian looked around the room. "It's not about Gourmand Eustace Petrigal III. I told you, I've moved on." Christian pulled him off to the side of the room and brought him into a huddle. I will say, now after doing the Christian voice compared to the Wonka voice, it really shows me how insane my Wonka voice is.
Yes! Yup! I had a moment too where I was like,
he feels normal in the other, like he feels normal in the other episodes, but comparing him to Christian, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
whoa!
Oh my god! Yeah, that's where we leave off.
First off, the second you were like, it's the new Wonkas, I was like, Scott. We get to have Scott, like, acted out now, not just heard of, but present. Like, I don't know why, it just feels like he's alive now. Like,
it feels
every
like
time
he's real. Yeah. I will say, I didn't really know how to write Scott. I realized I don't really remember much about his character as a person, like how he talked, which is why he didn't talk much. But I do think his emotional vulnerability would scare the rest of them.
Yeah,
I don't think
100%.
they'd like it. Yeah, Christian's not happy with the B Squad he's got going on right now. He's
No.
not. Wilford, he can deal with. I actually think they get along pretty well. There's a bit of... They have stuff in common.
tension. There's tension there.
Not really. He's kind of like his weird uncle, is what I feel like, even though they're like the
Ooh, yeah.
same age.
Okay. It still cracks me up because it makes sense in our lore that Christian would be the one to like do this whole like Justice League of Wonkas, but it is cracking me up that like third like degrees away Wonka is the one
Yeah.
organizing all this, and you not the OG Wonka. It's like no. It's Christian
Oh,
Wonka.
don't
and it
worry,
makes
we get
sense.
into
The
it. Don't
musical
worry, we
Wonka.
get into it.
So exciting. Well, shall we go back into a little dip of poetry?
Poetry.
A little bit of poetry. So I went back to ChatGPT, and this time I said, write a poem about an egg that has a chocolate bird inside that wants to take over the world. Parentheses. Egg is created by Willy Wonka.
Oh no.
This is because Felicia and I went on a huge rant last episode, I think, or recently, that we are fucking tired of hearing about this goddamn egg. And
Why would you
eat
make
it, and
us
there's
think
a
about
chocolate
it
bird
again?
inside? This might make it better. This might
Okay.
make it better. So the title is Chocolate Bird's Ambition, The Tale of Willy Wonka's Egg. Makes no
I don't want to
fucking
think
sense.
about Willy Wonka's egg.
No one does. Willy Wonka would lay eggs.
Would he? Are we sure about that? You made fun of me for saying Gene Wonka was birthed from a dodo, and now you come out here and say Willy Wonka would lay eggs. Hey, you said Willy Wonka would lay eggs? No, he would not. What the
Yes,
fuck
he
are you
would.
talking about?
Think about it.
He has the
If-
geese. He doesn't need this.
If you had to choose a human that you think could lay an egg,
No.
who would you pick and why?
Tilda Swinton.
In Willy Wonka's factory, a curious sight was seen, an egg of chocolate, but not as it would seem. For within its shell a creature lurked, a bird of sweet desire, whose only wish was to conquer, to set the world on fire.
Oh, wow.
This chocolate bird, so cunning and sly, hatched from the egg with a glint in its eye. It flapped its wings and took to the air, its mission clear, to rule without care. With its chocolate feathers, it set out to charm all those who it met with its deceptive charm. Great. The bird's sweet words they would entice. A world under its control would be the ultimate prize. The bird of chocolate, it soared so high, its power growing as it reached for the sky. No force could stop it, no army or gun, for it had the strength of 1,001. So it ruled with a chocolate fist. The world under its spell could not resist. But in the end, the bird's empire would fall, for even chocolate birds cannot rule over all. So remember this tale of the egg that contained a chocolate bird that one day aimed to reign. For even in sweetness, there lies a dark side, and the temptation to rule can often override.
Wow.
Chocolate Bird's Ambition, the tale of Willy Wonka's egg.
Some of the rhymes could use some work, I'm gonna be honest. It was a little all
Charm
over
and
the
charm.
place.
The pacing, not
The
always
pacing
there.
was bad. But I did enjoy it. I wasn't invested in the plot, so
Yeah, and kind of beautiful art. I don't know, maybe cross-stitch that, put it over your toilet.
I love it. All right, is it
Bring
part
me
3?
back to that sweet, sweet torso and these delicious little Wonkas coming out to play.
All right, so as a recap, Wonka, Christian, they're all Wonka. Christian has pulled Wilfred to the side of the room and brought him into a huddle.
A hustle.
All right, spill. The Wonkas were clearly trying to speak in hushed tones to keep me from hearing, but neither had great volume control and were still essentially shouting. Christian, I think I know that guy. You know, I was reading one of my magazines and there's this feature on the Hugh Grant case from a couple months back. I swear on Celine Dion that it was that fucker in the folding chair. They call him the Wonka Sleuth. How do you know it's him, though? I mean, there's got to be a few people with a similar vibe. You know, I never forget a face. Or those rippling abs. All right, so what if he is? You know, maybe we need to switch things up around here. Christian, we can't just have a non-Wonka in the Wonka squad. Remember our plan? How can we eradicate chewing gum from the universe if we have a Wonka sleuth screwing things up? So that was their game. That's why all the Wonkas were here together. This whole shebang spawned from a petty dislike of chewing gum. Fortunately for them, I didn't see anything too bad about it. I don't chew gum, of course. My body is a temple. Christian turned to Wilfred. Fair, but maybe there's something to gain from all this. He turned on his heel and headed back towards me. I reached into the pocket of my trench coat and pulled out my bag. Pulled out my badge. I heard it all. I'm Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse. Shit, you really are the Wonka Sleuth. I fucking told you! Wilfred yelled from the other side of the room. Christian leaned close to me. Look, the situation may look bad for us, but maybe there's a way we can all benefit from this. I'm listening. This B squad here, running the gum plot, doesn't really have the cultural sway to do some of the big work we need. With Gene, Johnny, and Timmy gone on their 6-month Alaskan cruise, I'm shit out of luck. But maybe you can help. Do some profiles on the multiversal Wonkas, uncover our backstories so you can continue to be the Wonka Sleuth, and we can take this plan off the ground. Are you talking about going public about all this? Why not? At this point, if I'm stuck with these fuckos, I'd like to be able to complain about it to the masses. And maybe I'm a little sick of all the love Gene gets. Maybe I'd get more respect if they knew I was the one who brought us all together. He fiddled with his plastic hammer. So, what do you say? You know what? I said. I leaned in close to him. I wasn't lying when I said I hated gum. Fuck yeah! Christian extended his arm for a shake, but then decided to go in for a hug. As we embraced, I saw Scott Wonka giving me the stink eye. Meet me at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Otter Cove at the Great Lakes Aquarium. Christian nodded.
Otter Cove.
I started to leave, but then I remembered I had something I had forgotten to mention. Christian? Yeah? Come alone. Christian laughed. Are you kidding? You have to pay me to bring these idiots. Opera Wonka let out another muffled wail. See you tomorrow, Tollhouse. Yeah. See ya.
Oh. Ooh. The plot thickens like a good custard.
I didn't intend to make this a romance fic between the two. I want to make that clear. Like, I didn't intend for that to happen. Is that clear already from the plot? I'm not sure. Am I spoiling it?
No, I feel pretty good about it. I think it's a guarantee. I feel like a guarantee anytime you have Christian Wonka in anything, there is gonna be a thing happening.
Yeah, no, I didn't intend to go that route, but I thought in the spirit of fan fiction, I felt like it was important.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it's no Grandpa Joe, and I don't think we'll ever write something like that again, I think.
Nor should we. But speaking of romance, Felicia, I tried to write the shittiest little short fan fiction story. To a point, this hurt me. And I had to go back and edit it to suck more. And I'm not... I don't know. There's certain words I have in here. I'm like, that's too much. The word whisper, that's too detailed. But, like, I tried. Anyway, this hurt me to write, and I just try to think of, like, what's, like, the most basic thing, and then also how to make it painful. And I thus give you the greatest romance of our time.
Yes.
Charlene Bucket woke up, blinking at the sun.
Fuck
Her
off.
lovely blonde hair glistened in the light, and her eyes were as beautiful as glowing meteors in the night sky. Well, looks like another day of work, Charlene said. She got out and put on her uniform. Even though the outfit was baggy, Charlene still looked the most beautiful. However, she didn't know it, and when she saw herself in the mirror, she sighed. I'm too ugly to be a chocolatier, she cried, her long lashes glistening as the waterfall began from her eyes.
This is giving very Willy Wonka and the Dissonant Planet of Wally Wonka and the punishment.
The punishment caning disciplinary factory. God. It was true. To be a chocolatier required a lot of brains and work, but to be noticed and successful, she needed to be beautiful. It was sad she didn't know how gorgeous she was, so she walked downstairs, walked outside, and walked to work. Everyone was rude to her. She kept her eyes focused on the road. Little did she know, they were all gawking at her beauty, her ice blue orbs, her Peeps marshmallow golden hair, her thin waist. She entered Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and sat down at her bench to work. Her job was to wrap up the candy. The day was long, and after a few minutes, Charlene began her simple work. She started taking the candies and mixing them together. A chocolate bubblegum, a cotton candy cookie. What are you doing? Charlene jumped. There was Wayne Wonka, Willy Wonka's son. He was frowning and so beautiful. Charlene stared at his beauty. When their eyes met, Wayne Wonka's frown faded away. I'm sorry, Wayne said. What are you making? New candy.
Is Wayne Wonka played by Timothy Chalamet?
Your Wonka?
No, is Wayne Wonka played by Timothy Chalamet?
Oh, please.
I was giving that
or Tom
vibe.
Holland?
It was giving that vibe. Oh, Tom
It
Holland.
is.
That's
Maybe
why he
a
didn't
weird
get Willy
reference.
Wonka, but he got Wayne Wonka. And Timothy Chalamet is still playing Willy Wonka. Is the crucial thing.
That is 100% canon now. What are you making? New candy, Charlene said. Wayne took the candy from her hand burning from the touch. Her eyes started to water. He would think her a fool, and he must know she was ugly. With a wail, she got up and ran out of the factory. She heard Wayne yell after her, but she kept running. How could a beautiful chocolatier ever love an ugly wench such as herself? In the middle of the night, she heard a tapping on the window. She pulled back the curtain, and there was Wayne Wonka. She opened the window. What are you doing here? I'm so ugly, Charlene said. No, Charlene. You're so beautiful, he said. He ran a hand across her cheek. I am in love with you and want to marry you. Your father will never allow it. No, he will. Look, Wayne pulled out a chocolate diamond ring. He gave me his ring.
Elaine, you did a great job with this. It feels authentic.
It hurt. Wayne pulled out a chocolate diamond ring. He gave me his ring. The chocolate diamond ring once belonged to a princess Willy Wonka had fallen in love with. Wayne's mother's ring was so wonderful, she could eat it. Don't eat it, Wayne said. He laughed. Can you read minds? Charlene said in disbelief. No, but your face says it all. He leaned in and kissed her. Marry me? Yes, Charlene said. She hugged him. He put the chocolate ring on her finger. We will live in my factory, Wayne said. Our factory. I love you so much, Charlene said. You are gorgeous and beautiful. You do not even know it. That is what makes you even more beautiful, Wayne said. They kissed for a very long time, their tongues jousting for the final trophy of love conquered. I cringed in the Barnes & Noble when I wrote that.
You wrote this at the Barnes & Noble?
Of course I wrote it at the Barnes & Noble.
Surrounded by literature, you wrote this.
Yes, Prince Harry's spare book boring into me as I wrote, and I looked off to the side and I'd just see Prince Harry and I'd be like, oh shit,
I can't have him watch.
I can't have it. Prince
Avert
Harry.
your eyes, Prince
You
Harry.
don't need to know about their tongues jousting for the final trophy of love conquered. They ran back to the factory and were married by an Oompa Loompa. Charlene was rich, and she married the most beautiful man. She lived happily ever after. The end.
Good for Charlene.
Good for Charlene Bucket. Got it. I thought Wayne
Is she
Wonka was
Charlie
a fun.
Bucket's daughter?
I think
I guess
she's
that wouldn't
just-
make sense.
I think
That
she's
wouldn't
like a
make sense.
gender bent Charlie Bucket for no
that
reason.
makes more sense.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and then Wayne Wonka is just, I don't know. Fuck it.
No, it was great. I mean, you nailed the writing. Shall we get the finale of Otter
Oh,
Cove?
hit me up. Hit me up, Papa.
The next day, I sat in front of the Otter Cove waiting for Christian to arrive. I had some time to myself, so I read the signs. Turns out, it's based on the real-life Otter Cove on the eastern shore of Lake Superior in Canada's Pekaskawea Provincial Park. The two otters, Agate and Orr, were swimming around and eating their fish. I was right. They did make me feel better. They are actually named Agate and Orr. There's a very fun website. I can the link will be in the description if you guys want to check out the Otter Cove at the Great Lakes Aquarium. I'm sure they need the press.
Yeah. Whoa.
No, I was sarcastic. That was sarcastic. I'm saying I'm sure they need this
was
from the
amazing.
Wonka podcast.
I just love the idea
they
of,
need
like,
the shout out.
Wonka Watch saves local aquarium is going to be in our Google like
the Great Lakes Aquarium's
alerts.
fucking huge. It's not a problem.
They're fine.
Suddenly, I felt a tap on my shoulder from a plastic hammer. Christian sat down next to me, wearing the same digs as yesterday, but with some sunglasses.
All right, Toll House, what do you got for me?
Nothing, not anything particular per se. Just wanted to discuss our arrangement further. And to watch the otters. Hey, you be in town long?
I'll be around a bit. You know, are you sure this meeting is just for business?
It can be. If that's what you want.
Christian blushed. Well, I never said that.
I'm thinking we start with Wilfred first. Work to get him a spot on prime time.
Well, why not me?
We need to save the best for last. So that's the story of how the Wonka Sleuth became part of the Wonka Squad. As for me and Christian, I'll just say that Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse may be becoming Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse Wonka very soon. The end.
Oh my gosh.
I had to
What a
write flirting. I didn't know what I was
Beautiful
doing. It was
couple.
scary.
Oh my gosh.
They
I
kind of
love
make
that.
sense together, though. There's
really
something about it that
does.
just made sense.
They have like I feel like Detective
They had chemistry.
Milano would like kind of ground Christian, but Christian would like bring some like silly energy and like they play off well together. I really see that being a power couple.
I love it. And they'll, you know,
gosh.
maybe he'll get him to stop drinking coffee out of old cans of peas.
Yeah, that was really horrifying. That was horrifying.
I'm glad that the multiversal Wonkas keep finding love and that
love
Christian
it
is no
too.
longer stuck with his only B Squad Wonkas, because God, it is
Oh,
rough
man.
when you look at the lineup. There's not much he can really work with there.
Right. I was just thinking Puppet Wonka, always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
I don't know what happened to Puppet Wonka. Puppet Wonka's gone. I don't even think Gene was in the last one.
Puppet Wonka goes to Minus Land.
I believe that.
I
He's
will
the
write that
guardian
next time.
of Minus
I
Land.
will write Puppet Wonka goes to Minus Land.
We've
as though
never
it's
had
like a
Puppet
Doctor's-
Wonka talk. That's scary.
I'll take this on. I'll make this my burden. What fantastic art leading into some more garbage. So, the Factory 4 Sweet Sweet Revenge. This is now the third installment. And as a quick review of what has happened, we have the 4 other golden ticket winners who were not Charlie, Augustus, Violet, Veruca, and Mike, who are now adults, and they want to get revenge on Willy Wonka because they were kind of fucked over. Augustus is a cheerful, I guess he's no longer a little boy, but he always is a little boy in our hearts. Mike is like chaotically drugged up. He had to have like surgery after his like elongation. He probably thinks birds aren't real kind of vibe. Veruca is kind of the same. She's had no character development. And then Violet has like a drug problem, but like gum. They met up with Augustus's contact, Hannah, who could get them into the factory. Augustus kind of loves Hannah. He tried to have a moment with her in our last episode of Fanfiction, but didn't happen. went to go for the kiss and it was awkward. So Augustus is a little heartbroken. But they basically went down this illegal vegetable hygiene circuit tunnel to the factory to provide the Oompa Loompas with nutritional items and toothpaste. And they had to go down a chute, which freaked out both Augustus and Veruca as they have tube chute trauma due to what happened to them at the factory. But no worries. Mike took a giant old fucking pill, got coked out, roared, picked up both of them, and then threw them down the chute. And Mike barked and high-fived himself before sliding into the chute. Violet's the last one left out. She goes, Violet paused, looked around, and then raised her watch to her lips. Everything's going according to plan, boss. I'll let you know once we arrive. So Violet's up to something, but we don't know what. And will our gang finally be able to seek revenge on Wonka? Will they successfully break into the factory without being caught? Who knows? You will. Ooh. I'm about to read it. I'm going to have to do Augustus's voice, which, yes, if you forget, I can't do a German accent, and Augustus has created his own accent at this point. I guess me. I have created my own accent for Augustus.
Yeah, you're not channeling Augustus.
Channeling Augustus. I'm on that gloop-de-loop. It had taken a few minutes for Augustus and Veruca to settle down after being forcibly shoved down the chute by a coked-out Mike. Violet had slipped down easily and regarded them with distaste. Eventually, the party was calm enough to proceed with their adventure. Augustus checked the smudged ink map on his palm. This way, he said, turning right down the hallway. It's a dead end, Veruca said. No, it's not, Augustus said over his shoulder. Hannah gave me instructions on the factory layout, and I took excellent notes. I can... The loud whack echoed in the hall as Augustus ran smack dab into a wall. I don't think I can take much more head injuries, he said.
Oh, I thought it was the invisible maze.
Oh, that would have been amazing. Damn, oh well. Great, we have no idea where we are, Veruca said. Violet rubbed her blue-tinted nose, acting nonchalant. I have a hunch we go the other way. You know, the one that isn't blocked off. Hey, where's Mike? Veruca asked. They heard a growl come from the other end of the hallway. There was a turn blocking their view. My God, do you think Wonka has monsters? Veruca said. I wouldn't put it past him, the evil sugar man and his kooky creations, Augustus said. No worries, I will deal with it. Slowly, they made their way to the corner. Augustus jumped out, hands in the air, yelling, I can defeat you! Come out, you chicken! But what he saw was Mike TV, crawling on all fours and foaming at the mouth. He growled again, trying to dig at something in the wall. Mike? Augustus said. Yo! Mike said, eyes feral. I think I took the wrong pill. I feel the level beyond happiness where you're back to deep depression, and I swear to God my belly button is an outie now. But dude, look, there's something here. Augustus signaled for the other three to follow him and join Mike. When they got to him, all they saw was a stone wall. Mike, I think you need help, Violet said. You think I need help? Me? I'm the best Mike I've ever been. I finally know how thunder feels. Things speak to me. I get them, and they get me. I want to read a book, bro. Jesus Christ, Violet said. He's definitely not okay. Veruca sighed, digging in her pocket. Why am I always the only one prepared for these situations? She pulled out a long syringe and advanced towards Mike. Whoa, hold up. What's in there? Violet asked. I'm not sure, but I've seen some of the people my father works with use them before important meetings. What was that accent? I became Tweety bored. I became Tweety about. I'm not sure, but I've seen some of the people my father works with use them before important meetings. Daddy says it's how everyone calms down. Augustus's eyes widened. Veruca, we cannot pokey stab Mike. This is a bad idea. Stick me. My veins are filled with acid. Just you try, Mike yelled. Veruca leapt forward, but Mike dodged her. They ended up in a grappling battle when Veruca threw Mike against the wall, which instantly caved in, revealing a small room. Augustus gasped loudly, stepping over Veruca and Mike into the room. It was tall and glowed red from 4 lights on the ceiling. In the middle was a lush carpet. The walls, though, were lined with chocolate fondue, candy ropes, an obscene amount of bird eggs that Augustus just knew held tiny chocolate birds inside.
Fuck off!
His pupils dilated. He felt the darkness take over. Must feed my body, it seemed to say. But as he took a step forward to begin devouring the wall, he saw what was in the middle of the room. Chained to a pole was a man surprisingly older than you would think. His purple coat tarnished, his head drooped down, mouth covered in duct tape. "It can't be," Augustus whispered, walking up to the man. He lifted the man's chin, and slowly the man opened his eyes. "Willy Wonka," Augustus said. It's Willy Wonka!" Mike rolled on his back and crouched. "Wait, no way, this was so fucking easy. Let's slap him up." "Looks like he was imprisoned here," Violet said. Her sharp gaze took in the room, assessing. "Good," Veruca said. "Just as he deserves." She walked over and kicked him in the shin. Wonka groaned in pain. "Well, we found him," Augustus said. "What now?" Mike asked. Augustus stared at the monster that had ruined his life. Weak and trapped. He could do so many things. Call him names. Pretend to befriend him, only to betray his trust. Tickle him. The most vicious things he could think of. But now that he was here, staring at the pathetic man, his mind went blank. "You made this plan and you seriously don't have an idea on what you want to do," Veruca said with disgust. "I'll tell you what I want to do. Someone find gasoline. We're burning him alive."
Oh my god, girl.
Wonka seemed to wake up at that, struggling against his binds. "You'll end up burning us too, you dummy," Augustus said. He leaned forward and ripped the duct tape off of Wonka's mouth. "Cocoa beans!" Wonka said, wincing in pain. Whoa. Whoa, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Is this a new Wonka? Who is this?
No! "Cocoa beans," he said, wincing in pain.
What the fuck is this? Who are you? What's that guy, Shrek?
You're on this train going off the tracks with me, and you're just gonna have to trust and fall with me right now. We're going down the ravine. "You," Mike said. He grabbed Wonka by his hair, yanking him up. "It's time you pay." Wonka looked up, seeming to finally take in the group before him. It took a moment before knowing entered his gaze. The children," he said. "You're back."
Who is this?
"Yes, we are back, fast and furious," Augustus said. "And we are family." "I don't want to be family with you sloths," Veruca said. Augustus turned red. He'd binged action movies before this trek, hoping he could learn a thing or two about fighting, aggressiveness, and cool one-liners. So far, he was falling short. Gumdrops. Violet pushed Mike back and shoved Augustus aside. "Listen here, Wonka. We may have been pawns in your twisted game, but we're stronger now. What was a fun day for you has haunted us through the years. It's changed us. In a way, you created us. Perhaps we should thank you." Augustus felt the anger rise in him. This man had made him fear chocolate, had made him fear traveling in London on the tube. He wanted his life back, which could never happen. He wanted Hannah to love him, but Wonka had ruined it all. It was satisfying seeing him tied up and hurt. He paused, thinking about the room they were in. "Why are you tied up here?" Augustus asked. "Did the Oompa Loompas do this? Long overdue if you ask me." At that moment, a loud clap of thunder boomed through the room. A wall on the side fell away, and smoke billowed out. Flashing lights cut through the smoke, and the silhouette of a figure came into focus as they entered the room. Augustus took the person in segments. A crisp red top hat. A cerulean cane topped with a fudge whipple scrumptious munch. Whoa, I typed a word in the middle of a word. Okay. A cerulean cane topped with a whipple scrumptious fudge mallow delight. Crimson pants, an audacious cravat, blue crystal eyes, and blonde hair. "Ah, right on schedule," the man said. He traipsed into the room, smiling at each one of the factory four. When he saw Wonka, he frowned. I forgot her. Tisk, Willy. I see you haven't properly welcomed our guests. I guess I can't blame you, though. You haven't really been feeling like yourself lately. Who the hell are you? Veruca said. The man turned back to them, confused. Then he barked out a laugh. My word, you really don't recognize me, do you? Augustus felt a cold chill run down his spine. Charlie Bucket! Augustus cried.
Oh my god!
Who? The scrawny kid turned into a hot demigod? What the hell? I have a receding hairline, and I've been told by multiple people I smell like Dorito dust and rotting chicken, Mike said. What is going on here? Augustus said, waving to the man. We deserve to get revenge on him, not you. Release him at once, so we can capture him. Charlie shook his head, still grinning. Oh, sweet Gussie, I'm afraid I can't do that. You see, I need him still. I've almost taken over all operations of the factory, but there are still a few little tidbits he's got locked away in that thick skull of his. No! I want to hurt him. This isn't fair, Veruca said. She shook the syringe in her hand. This is still ready to go. Let me stab him. Augustus turned to Violet, the reasonable one in their group, but she was silent, fidgeting with the watch on her hand. No, not fidgeting. She was pressing something. Violet? Augustus said. She gave him a small smile. Sorry, kid. You were never going to get us what we wanted. Violet walked over to Charlie. He held out a foiled item and placed it in her hand. As you requested, Charlie said. Violet took in a deep breath, unwrapping a piece of gum. If this doesn't work, you're dead. Got it, Violet said. Charlie bowed. Of course. I don't understand, Mike said. Oh, whoa, shit, wait, I feel kind of woozy. The come down is always the worst, isn't it? Charlie said. He tricked you, Wonka rasped. Whoa.
So
Shut
is
it,
this
Charlie.
Gene Wonka? Is this Gene Wonka?
This is not Gene Wonka. I would not disrespect the man that way. I don't know who the fuck this is, but this is tortured Wonka. This is I've been a prisoner Wonka. I don't.
It's Yoda Wonka.
It's Yoda Wonka. Shut it, Charlie said, kicking Wonka in the stomach. He turned to Violet. Do it. Now. Violet tapped her watch. A pink fume began to fill the room. Charlie and Violet were backing away, hiding in a glass elevator. No! What is it? Augustus said. He made to run from the fume when he took a whiff. It smelled delightful. Heavenly. Like freshly warmed lederhosen. Oh man, Mike said teary-eyed. Baja Blast! It's everywhere! I miss it, man! Fuck! Veruca's eyes glowed. Money! Power! Glory! Augustus basked in the happy feeling. He slowly closed his eyes, envisioning the lederhosen, and in the pocket would be a fresh pastry. As they sunk deeper into their daydreams, their bodies fell to the floor. Well done, Violet, Charlie said. The Oompa Loompas will clean this up. Are you ready for the next step of the plan? Obviously, Violet said. She popped the gum in her mouth, closing her eyes as she took her first chew of gum in over a decade. Ready. And this ends the third installment of the Factory 4 Sweet Sweet Revenge.
I loved it. I'm genuinely so invested in this plot still. When the Wonka got chained up, I was like, oh shit, is this where Charlie comes around? We get an evil Charlie bucket? And yes, we are, ladies and gents. Man, the Factory 4 is one of the best things on this podcast, I think. It's like, if we made that separately as a serialized audio drama, people would be eating that shit up.
Oh my god.
God.
Evil
Wow.
Charlie Bucket. I was so excited to get to write Evil Charlie Bucket, and yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for where it's gonna go next. And if you think I know what that is, I don't. Stoked.
Yeah, you're writing your Factory 4 series, and I think I'm doing that romance novel thing where the main character, the protagonist, is a sister or brother of the main character with the multiversal Wonkas. Because that seems to be what's happening at this point.
I freaking love it.
God. Do we have to do predictions? I guess that's how I feel like we've wrapped up. We've done our fanfic, right?
We did it. Another joyous, beautiful time. I loved everything.
I loved it too.
What a giggle. What a giggle.
Great that this is what we put our writing skills to.
I know. Me having running to write a book for ages has been stalled on a single plotline for 2 years. And yet,
Same.
Factory 4 Sweet Sweet Revenge. I love this for us. Screw our dreams. Fanfiction answers all the pains.
Yeah. All right, predictions. I did not think about this at fucking all. I feel like we've done a lot of fish-related predictions, so I'm not going to go back to that well again. The thing is I feel like I've predicted
fish-related predictions. I hate us.
Wait, hold on. Let me pull up this Excel. I feel like there's two. There's more than one, I think.
There's more than there should be. It's just the
one is more than there should be. I was about to say someone gets smashed with a hammer, but I actually think that's, I think I've done that one.
Oh, I did mean to mention that I love that you brought back the plastic hammer, which is such a specific moment in the musical.
Thank you.
That he
I was
has
very
that.
proud.
I loved that. Doesn't he hit Mike with it at one point?
I think it was
Am I making that up?
Augustus. Yeah,
Oh,
he smashes their
Augustus.
hand.
Cute.
Okay, yeah, we have, there will be a fish that jumps out and slaps someone in the face, and then we have heavy bass presence. Fish bass also counts. So, 2 fish bass predictions. Did I do the hammer thing? No results, bitch.
Oh, hell yeah.
Somebody's getting the hand smashed with a hammer, or some other non-crucial body part smashed with a hammer. Like, no one's gonna die from being hit with a hammer, but because I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think any fights are gonna be that brutal. But someone's hand will get hit by a little hammer.
I think this Wonka will know how to play a musical instrument.
Okay, I think that's good. Imagine if he gets a little violin and tap shoes at the same time.
That'd be so great. But if that bitch pulls out a flugelhorn, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. Because I predicted there will be no flugelhorn.
I bet he's going to play a balalaika. And I'm putting that on the prediction shit.
He's going to come out like Bert.
Mary Poppins with the
by the way,
full man.
we need to on record discuss very quickly that way more people than we ever thought related to our childhood crushes in a way that was astounding to me. Like, specifically
So
Thomas
many
Jefferson,
people.
1776. That came out a couple times. That's fucking wild.
There was someone
a
who
lot of,
messaged us and said literally every single one. I'm like, that's insane. It's
that's bonkers.
how?
Bonkers.
Why?
So, why? How?
I'm glad
Thank you,
I
but
guess
also
we've curated
niche
the most specific audience.
ever. Like, what? But it brought us a lot of joy, made me laugh very hard, and also helped to validate me to my friends because they've made fun of me for my childhood crushes many moons, and I was like, but bitch, I ain't the only one. So you're the loser now, not me.
Yeah. On Spotify, we can do fun little question and answers that show up underneath the episodes. And our listener, Nyctophilia and T said, I had many childhood crushes. Most of them were historical figures. I'm okay, I swear. Nathaniel Hale was the main one. He would probably get caught drinking fizzy lifting drinks and get hanged somehow. And I just thought that was fun. I just wanted to share with the audience. That was great.
A precious gem. So yeah, you guys also, on this episode, we'll have little questions response. So feel free as you listen, if you have something silly, respond on Spotify.
We see them and then we can make them public. So we do that most of the time. So if you put something in there, we'll probably do that. So just know that. But yeah, I think it's fun. It's a nice little bit of interactivity and it's fun for us. So yeah.
Ooh, giggle, giggle.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to this episode of Wonka Watch. If you want to email us, you know, bring about your hot Wonka Watch fanfiction takes. I don't know why I said hot. That made it sound more salacious than I
was
meant
like,
it to be.
oh, and then you said fan takes. I was like, oh, thank God. Because I don't know if I necessarily want everyone's hot Wonka fanfiction.
I really
am
don't,
gonna throw it
actually.
out there.
Please don't send that to us. Thanks.
Thanks.
You can do so at wonkarapture@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Wonka Watch.
Boom.
You can also
Do you
support
want to
us.
support?
Yeah. Do you want to support this madness? On our Buy Me a Coffee, we do a bunch of fun stuff. You can support us there and join our monthly membership, which is $5 a month, and you get a bunch of weird Wonka shit. We do a bunch of exclusive stuff over there. You can get commentary tracks for all the Wonka movies that are out as of yet, and, you know, listen to us talk about garbage and play The Sims and kill Wonkas, and it's really fun. And
Yahoo!
all the people who support us get a little song. As of right now, we may eventually switch up some of our announcement things, but in this period
Spice
of the
it up, you know?
podcast, we're doing songs. And this week we have 2 people who helped us out. The first one is Bridget, who said, can't get enough Wonka. Thank you guys. You make me laugh and feel silly and good. Proud to be a Wonka scholar. We're happy to have you, Bridget. And then my grandparents. My grandparents don't listen to the podcast, so they don't need a full song.
Thank God.
But you can have a little, you just give them a 1-line nod. in there.
Yes, I can do that.
I don't want to break my promise.
Oh, yeah. Let me light a cigar. I'm so sick of this dame over here being crabby about her stale coffee cake, but... Oh, Bridget. You can't get enough of Wonka? Well, let me sing you a little song about how we can't get enough of you.
Is this going to be spoken word?
Oh, Bridget. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast. You're making us do silly things like doing movie commentaries.
It's a very
of
Bob
Tom and
Dylan.
Jerry Wonka. And there's something coming around the corner.
It's so
and you're
Bob
not gonna
Dylan.
know what it is. But thanks to you, it's gonna happen. And you might just regret it. But that's okay. And hey, Felicia's grandparents. In a way, I hope we never meet in real life, because I've said such horrible things that my first impression precedes me. Magically turned gay, I want candy. But hey, thank you for your
They
support.
don't listen to the podcast, I don't
And
think
for your
so. I think it's
fantastic
fine.
granddaughter. Shout out to them, though. But Bridget, all I gotta say, one last thing. It's not that important.
It's
But
not
you
that
are.
important.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It's not
Bridget.
that important. Thanks.
Well, what have we learned today? Christian Wonka's hot, but we knew that. That's not new news.
That's not new news at all.
And Charlie Bucket's a weird, evil guy. This is a
We love
bizarre
it. And
outro.
Willy Wonka has a son named Wayne Wonka, but even with all of that, it's not that important.
It's not that important. Recreational weed may now be legal in Michigan. And that's kind of cool. But that's
pretty nice.
But the rest of the episode, not that important.
Not important.
I wrote
This
a fucking
is such
fan fiction about a fake private
absolute
detective
garbage.
going to the fucking Great Lakes Aquarium. It's not that
Their
important.
tongues jousted to see who would win the trophy
Out of Elaine's
love.
mouth came the words, I think Willy Wonka would lay eggs. It's not that important.
It's not that important.
Bye.